Guys, we're so back. Unfortunately, first thing I want to point out is unfortunately, I can't get my trusty microphones to work because it's not the microphones, it's my phone. I'm having issues with it currently. To use these microphones, you have to use this thing. So yeah, I can't get audio to work. So, that's my phone problem. Yay. Look, I added this to my Gaster cosplay. Yeah. You can scan this if you'd like. May not lead to this video or a playlist with this video in it. So what's new in life, right? I just finished my Suitor Armor Retrospective, and it is out now. By the time you guys see this specific video, will probably have been out for a while now, but as of right now, it's October 2025. I know, crazy time is flying by too quickly. I get this project done before I'm out of college, and I'm already like halfway through my junior year of college. I did just finish up my Suitor Armor Retrospective, and I am really, really proud of how that turned out. It may be 3 hours long, but that's fine to me. I am genuinely so proud of this project. It looks so good, and no, I'm really proud of it. The Suitor Armor brain rot was real. Okay, I've been stuck in Suitor Armor mode for a while now, and now that season 3 is over and we're waiting for the next season, I might as well film the Handplates retrospective and be hyperfixated on handplates. The new thing is in the Handplates fandom. The Handplates fandom is still growing stronger than ever, I would even say. Like, so many people are in the fandom right now, and the fandom is in 2 different places. Tumblr and TikTok. Almost forgot these. Yeah, I did a thing. It's not that important, but like, it's not that special, but like, I did this for fun. I just felt like it. I redressed my Santa Papyrus plushies with handplates. Yeah. Ignore that Santa's is all messed up. It was hard because he's in a sitting position, so that made things difficult. But anyway, back here. Yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think? Right there? Oh, we need Sans to be here. Yeah. Perfect. As I mentioned, it's TikTok and Tumblr, but specifically TikTok. Everyone's just there. We've got new people in the fandom. I'd like to welcome Thistle. I know you are in the comments of this video. When this video comes out, you're gonna be in the comments. I know already. Thistle, I know, has already been hanging out in the comments of these videos, and I'm glad you're enjoying. But like, Thistle, makes Gaster cosplay content on TikTok, and I think also makes like art and stuff, but specifically the Gaster cosplay is wonderful. Here, I'm gonna show a picture because it's so cute. I love it. I love this Gaster cosplay so much. I love seeing the cosplay fandom, guys. And then we also have Darkat. Can't forget to mention Darkat. There's also, I'm gonna pronounce this so wrong, oh gosh. Artist Stimi? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And last but not least, we have Winter/WDG1S. Right there. Those are some new people to join, so say hello. I know in my intermission section, which currently is not out at the moment, but will be soon, oh my gosh, the intermission section I filmed so long ago. Oh my gosh, it's just hitting me now. I filmed intermission so long ago, and it's not even like... So I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Specifically you, Thistle, and Darkat. I love all you guys. And WGG1S, love you. So, Undertale turned 10? Yeah, Undertale's 10th anniversary. Yes, so much happened. This happened last month. So much happened. Like, not like a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of, you know, people in the fandom and the Undertale fandom specifically just going crazy. I just realized I forgot one thing I need to mention. So, yeah, no, there was so many good things, so much art came out of it, so many, like, happy things. A lot of really awesome edits were, like, crazy. There was new gameplay for the charity live stream, that is not, like, official, like, you can't just buy a copy of Undertale and has all this new stuff in it. Unfortunately, it's not in, like, every copy of Undertale. A lot of people, so all this new stuff, there's a ton of people in the fandom, like, in the Undertale fandom. There's a lot of people in the fandom that think that there is lore implications to all this new stuff, which some things I think could be lore implications, but most of it has like a meta view to it, if that makes sense. It's basically, in a general sense, is Toby trying to say that the underground is essentially endless, and it's up to the player's imagination to kind of fill in some of these blanks and fill in what's not there that you don't actually get to see, and also things that you can see but you can't actually go to. Like, a good example is, like, the castle in Waterfall. Like, you can't access that. Some of the things were kind of goofy and kind of jokes, really. I mean, for goodness sakes, there's this whole section in the middle where Spampton Sweepstakes Spampton comes into the live stream while the guys playing take a break, and they go off screen. Spampton takes over and plays the game for a little bit, and then Spampton ends up in the game. Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. And Spampton eats like a ginormous French fry. I don't know. It's weird. And it's funny. It's hilarious, if anything. It's just funny. But even though there's a lot of goofy things, there was a lot of things that were a little bit more, like, serious. Noelle just showing up at Snowdin. You can't interact with Noelle, but she's, like, hiding behind the Christmas tree in Snowdin. She's just there. Gaster's door. Gaster's door shows up, and it's not gray, but brown. It's colored in. Gaster's door is just there, and of course the guys playing the game walk right by it. Don't even mention it. That has lore implications. One last thing. As mentioned previously, Zarla herself made a Handplates fan song called Unmasked, and it's a Gaster and Alphys song. It's a song for Gaster and Alphys, and it's more specifically like an Alphys POV song, like it's Alphys's point of view. So I guess it's technically not really Alphys and Gaster, but like it fits, right? And it's like the only like Handplates song we have, you know? Until now. So a few weeks ago, I was scrolling around on TikTok, and I was just looking for a random audio, and this popped up. Someone by the name of SenBeats made an official Handplates fan song. It's actually so good. It's so good. For someone who can't fix himself. Your plates don't tell our story. Okay, that's enough of that. Go check it out. It's so good. At first I was like, okay. And then I started listening to it. I'm like, okay, no, this is good. This is great. The distance between us grew by miles. Following a path this low. Fighting things you didn't show. I had a glimpse behind your mask. Now there are questions I want to ask. I should stand in front of you. I should try to get Season 5, right? Season 5, we get to a point where we're not on hour-long videos anymore, unfortunately. The last hour-long video for like a Handplates movie was Season 4, which we last filmed. I don't even know when I last filmed that. I think it was last summer. But yeah, we're on Season 5, and we're gonna get to the point where Callisto stops making videos. We don't have Callisto anymore, but we will finally transition into the, what I like to call it, the Phoenix Prime era of Handplates. Now, I also call this the Memories Arc, so I will put that in there. Season 5, Memories Arc, Part 2. I always forget, Part 2. The arc names are weird, because I don't really know what to call them. So, as Sans and Papyrus were looking for answers in the lab, which Flowey told them to go. Flowey, originally way back in Season 4, Flowey said, go to this lab, and you go this way, and he tells them how to get there, and they find a way in by, putting their hands on the sensors. Pretty much everything in the lab was all broken, and either broken or just not there. There's a bunch of empty boxes, and rooms felt very empty to them, and we also had the big loop where they literally stared at them, like Sans looked at himself from the past, and past Sans looked at him from to the future, you know what I mean, right? Because they looked at their cell that they grew up in, and still no memories. And so anyway, as they're leaving, Season 5 starts off where they are just leaving the lab. Oh, and there's also that weird Goops thing, right? There's that weird Goops monster that gave them the picture. As they're leaving the lab, Sans had found something that might be helpful aside from the Rubik's Cube that he found. He found a key that leads to the spare room in their house that they have not been able to open. And I forget how you unlock it in the game, but it's weird. But yeah, so they found the key that locks the basement, I like to call it, their house. I don't even know if it's an actual basement, but the little mini lab that Gaster had. And as Sans is in this back room, as Sans is in this basement room, he figures out that behind the curtain is a computer that Gaster had used, and the same computer was the one that Gaster was doing, timeline stuff. Remember when Gaster was doing, stuff on the timeline? And he knows about timelines, right? Well, Sans was able to get in, and he needed a passcode to get into the computer, and found out the passcode was WDG1S and 2P or something like that, or it was just 1S, 2P, which is very smart, because no one would be able to get into Gaster's thing if no one knew about Sans and Papyrus. He gets into it, and when it turns on, a bunch of numbers and stuff, kind of corrupted files pop up, and the computer shuts down. He's able to take a drive or a floppy disk or some sort of disk or drive, and he's able to put it in the big boss computer that they found in the lab, and that's what shows the full timeline. I think the smaller computer couldn't handle the timeline stuff, but the other computer does. Sans does end up going to the big thing to view the timeline. Alphys is telling Sans about an RP, a role-playing game that she found, and it resembles Undertale. Basically what she's describing is literally Undertale, where you are this character that fights monsters and stuff in this role RPG game. And one thing that happens that I don't think I have in my notes here is that two things. Remember that Flowey is being weird to Papyrus. Flowey is, still manipulating him, and he says something really weird. He's going on about oh, you went to the lab and you didn't find anything? You didn't get your memories back? Flowey says, I talked to him on the right day and the right time. Is Flowey talking about Gaster? Because I would assume that's who he's talking about, so Flowey can... Did Flowey talk to Gaster? Question mark? I don't know who this him he's talking about. The second thing is that Alphys, another weird Gaster thing that kind of happens, is Alphys goes to Waterfall. Now, serious moment here, kind of trigger warning, I guess. Alphys goes to the waterfall, or goes to Waterfall, and she's contemplating going off the edge. Because as of right now, she just made the amalgamates. Like, the amalgamates just kind of, that accident, the amalgamates incident kind of took place, and now Alphys is feeling really bad about it, and she's having her own, like, Gaster moment. Because if you remember, back in the end of Season 2, when Gaster was standing at the edge of the one of the rails, in the core, and was contemplating jumping off, and thinking about what would happen if he didn't exist anymore. And well, now he knows. Now he knows what that's like. But Alphys is having that same moment because she's feeling the guilt of everything that she's done in the lab, and she feels terrible. And the interesting thing is that Gaster shows up, and there's like not like actually shows up physically, but like in the reflection of the water, he's there. In the picture, it almost looks like he's like hugging Alphys. It's like his arms are going around Alphys as if he's hugging her, comforting her, which I think is so cute. But it's mostly just that he's trying to reach out to her, because, you know, she's having the same moment as him. You know, like, she's having one of these moments that he's been there, and guess who shows up? Physically. Undyne. Alphys' new crush, because Alphys is bisexual. In Handplates lore, Alphys is bisexual because she has a crush on both Gaster and Undyne. Anyway, Undyne shows up and is like, you ever wonder what happens when you fall into the abyss? I think about it all the time. Back to Sans and Papyrus, right? Because this is about them. They get into another argument because they like to fight, okay? These two are constantly arguing, as much as they love each other in a brotherly, platonic way. They also fight a hell of a lot in this series. And they get into a big fight because, as I mentioned, Sans goes down to the big lab. He goes back to the lab and comes across this, computer, and he figures out the timeline. And Sans isn't telling Papyrus what he knows, or what he thinks he knows, I should say. And that's more better wording. He doesn't tell Papyrus what he thinks he knows about this timeline thing. Because he's afraid of, not really upsetting Papyrus, but he's afraid of scaring him. Because this scares Sans. It does. It scares him a little. And it scares him even more, seeing that on the timeline, what looks like two different souls, he thinks one is Papyrus because, well, one is Papyrus, and one is Sans. And he's very scared the fact that Papyrus stops before him. They both actually get really depressed at one point because they're just not talking to each other. Like, they go through this whole period of just not talking, and they both get really depressed. He eventually comes out and explains everything. I think after they argue is when they kind of, aren't talking to each other. After a while, Papyrus starts to really actually check in on Sans because, they're both pretty depressed, but Sans is the more depressed one. And Sans isn't doing good. His mental health isn't doing good. So Papyrus goes to check on him. And finally everything comes out. He explains what he thinks he knows. He explains everything about, hey, Sans, Sans knows that he's in a game. That's canon. That's been just straight up Undertale canon, that Sans knows he's in a video game. Papyrus is a little bit more questionable. I think Papyrus, canon in in Undertale, I think he does know. He just, doesn't really say much about it because, in Handplates, he understands it. He just kind of refuses to talk about it. The God, I hope so loop happens. This one does count as a loop, in my opinion. But Sans, looks at Papyrus and goes, God, I hope so. As he's, crying. So Callisto finally leaves off here, unfortunately. Goodbye, Callisto. We'll see you again someday. They both go back down together after everything. They both go back down to the big computer. Papyrus says, something weird. He, looks at the big box computer and he's like, you can't tell me what I'm gonna do! In Papyrus manner. Now, I wonder if I can pull that up. I probably can, but I don't feel like sitting here forever. I'll find it later in the editing stage. But I know, so I wrote my notes here. Back, way back, in the early days of Handplates, Zarla made she drew out an episode that would canonically take place here. I wonder if I put it up on the Deviant. I found it! I found it. Okay, so, way back, when was this even posted? This was posted... Is there a date on this? 2016. And the other episodes are like... not that one. Like, 2020? And you can tell this is an older episode, too. Like Zarla kind of just drew this idea, because if you guys remember, Zarla knew the entirety of, like, Handplates, like, way at the beginning. Like, she knew everything that was gonna happen. Like, it may not have been extremely, like, accurate, like, point to point what was gonna happen, but, like, she knew the basic gist of what was gonna happen. And tell me, trust me, I understand, like, you know, story writing and stuff. I get that. But yeah, so, oh my gosh. So, looking at here, this is the episode... the older episode, and you can tell too, like, based on, like, the thicker line art that we have here, but, like, this was an old episode that Zarla drew that took place canonically in this, like, scene, and she just drew it, like, ages ago. And see, here's them looking at the timeline. This just was drawn, like, way back in 2016, even though it didn't really make sense. Like, it made sense in the context of, like, Undertale, but, like, Handplates didn't really make a whole lot of sense. You know, because, like, back, you know, this was still, like, 2016. We were still, like, in the lab arc, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, let me go back to where I was. But yeah, like, so this is Sands of Papyrus looking at the big computer and everything, and they're talking about it. But yeah, so this is, like, canon to Handplates. But I don't think a lot of people, like, put it in with the dubs and everything. Like, okay, for example, like, in one of the episodes that Callisto did, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was this moment that Callisto did where they like added a segment to the one season. I forget where it was, but see, like, where there was this moment where they put in, like, an older episode, like, an older, like, kind of uncanon episode of Handplates. One of those, like, like, it was, like, a grayscale episode, too, so, like, it was weird that they kind of just, like, added in. We're gonna wrap things up. So, Sands of Papyrus start making up theories on where they think they came from. So, the first theory is that they were both scientists, and they made all these machines, they made, you know, this big computer, they made all this stuff in the lab, and they made the, you know, obviously the computer down there, and so he thinks that they were both scientists, and, you know, that's the reasonable explanation. And the other answer that is interesting is that they came from a different universe. CPAU. You know, that is the one thing that does excite me for Christmas time. CPAU, baby. I love that, talking about Starbucks dubs, I love that, like, they said, see you next year, and it's literally been, like, 8 years. It's like, you know, Undertale's anniversary, Undertale's 10 years old at this point, so that video is, like, definitely pretty old. And see you next year! Like, okay. I didn't really know where to put this, but I mentioned that Papyrus is being really hypocritical right now, because you remember, you know, when they were fighting and, you know, being all depressed and everything, and Papyrus was being all mad at him for not telling him anything. He's like, you know, you didn't tell me anything about all this, you know, computer stuff, and, you know, he was mad at Sans for Sans not telling him anything, but then Papyrus is, like, lying, not really lying, but keeping all the Flowey stuff a secret. To be fair, Flowey is also, like, what is it, like, gaslighting him and stuff, and, like, kind of threatening him, and, like, almost, like, I want to say blackmailing, but, like, he's definitely, like, threatening him, like, you know, you can't, you know, don't tell anyone about this, it's our secret.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous.
And also Sans, I feel like, half believes him when he does mention this talking flower. I feel like he half believes Papyrus. It's something Sans, in my opinion, should be more observant about as a brother who cares deeply about his brother. Did I tell you guys I met an artist, like, the other day, like, an Undertale artist that I recognized? I know I mentioned it in my Pseudo-Armor retrospective somewhere, but like I don't have the book with me unfortunately, but like I have to talk about this because it's so cool. But yeah, I brought it up to a few people. But like if you know this artist, I met them in person. I met them at a convention and it was so cool. I bought like a book from them, and they had like a Gaster like just like desk piece. Like it was like a cutout of Gaster. It was like an acrylic cutout of Gaster that you put on your desk and stuff. It was so cool. I wanted to buy that, but I only bought the like they had like a mini book for some of the like comic pages they have, and for like their Skella Bros like mini series. I didn't really film any audio for this, so here's the book I got from Leaf. It's so cool. There's all kinds of sketches, and like I said, most of this is like the Skella Bros like comic they have, and there's just a lot of like fun gags in it. Yeah, I just really love this, and the artist was super nice. I do gotta say, like, Leaf, you're so nice, and I'm glad I got to meet you, so yeah. And I did bring up my retrospective series, and I was like, yeah, I've been working on this huge retrospective because I love Handplates so much, as I was cosplaying Ralsei from Deltarune. Anyway, Sans meets Toriel by the ruin's door, because he had the joke book that he found from somewhere, or I don't know, I think he had a joke book with him, I can't remember. But I know he goes to the door and, tries some knock-knock jokes, and somebody responds. It's Toriel, who Gaster thinks is dead. It's actually really sad, if you think about it. Like, Sans also discovers something that he probably shouldn't have known. Remember the amalgamates that I mentioned earlier? So, yeah. Sans also knows about the amalgamates now, because he goes back to the lab. Because apparently there's like a vending machine down there, and Sans, he just teleports there because Sans can teleport now, and he just teleports to the lab, and he's like so weird about it, because he's chill. He's like okay about it. Like, you're just so chill about that. You got like basically essentially a walking corpse right in front of you, in a sense. Like, I don't really know we get to see Alphys's reaction. It just kind of cuts to Alphys and Sans kind of just talking, and kind of cuts to like the middle of their conversation. Gaster clocks into work every day like, beep, time to go torture my children. It's currently 9 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I'm almost done. Actually, I am done. That is all I have to say. I don't have any other notes. We still also have one last thing to note as well. I'm looking at my notes here. The last thing to note is the very end of the Season 7 arc, and it's thing to note number 10. If you guys remember things to note, I did that all the way back in my intro, and there were some that I didn't talk about until later because, spoilers. Now that this video is getting long, I will see you guys in the next one, hopefully soon. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. 6, 7. 6, 7. 6.